Did you know that people decide if they like you within the first few seconds of meeting you? In fact, a study by Princeton found that we make judgments about others in just 0.1 seconds. That's faster than a blink of an eye. This means that your introduction, what you say, how you say it, and even your body language, can make or break that first impression. Now, think about this. Research shows that 93% of communication is non-verbal. That's right, most of what people pick up about you doesn't come from the words you say, but from your tone, posture, and facial expressions. So how can you use this to your advantage when introducing yourself or others? In this video, we'll dive into powerful tips and tricks that will help you introduce yourself and others like a pro. We'll talk about crafting the perfect first impression, using body language to your advantage, and ensuring your introductions leave a lasting impact. Stick with us, and by the end, you'll have all the tools you need to introduce yourself with confidence every time. Chapter 1. The power of your first words. The first words you speak are crucial. They set the tone for everything that follows. According to studies, it takes only 7 seconds for someone to form a first impression. That means your introduction has to grab attention fast. Start with something engaging, like a unique fact about yourself or a bold statement. Instead of just saying, "Hi, I'm Jane," you could try something like, "I help small businesses grow their social media reach by 40% in just 3 months." This opens the door to deeper conversation. A study by the Harvard Business Review found that people with strong, confident introductions are perceived as more trustworthy and competent. So, make your first words count. One great tip is to use a hook, something intriguing that sparks curiosity. For instance, I've traveled to 15 countries and have learned something surprising in each one. This instantly makes the other person want to ask questions, and you're already off to a good start. Another powerful strategy is using a question. Asking, "Have you ever wondered why most small businesses fail?" can pull people into the conversation. It's important to speak with clarity and confidence, don't rush or mumble. You want your voice to sound clear and steady, which conveys authority. Think of your introduction as a mini-story, something memorable that sticks with people. Chapter 2. The invisible charm. Body language mastery. Did you know that 93% of communication is nonverbal? That's right, your body language can speak louder than your words. When introducing yourself or others, your posture and facial expressions matter a lot. Research shows that people who stand tall with an open posture are viewed as more confident and approachable. So, stand up straight and keep your shoulders relaxed, don't slouch. Another crucial part of body language is eye contact. According to the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, making eye contact for 50–60% of the time makes you seem more engaged and trustworthy. But don't overdo it. Too much eye contact can feel intimidating. Instead, aim for a natural flow of eye contact as you speak and listen. Handshakes are another important element of introductions. A firm, but not overly strong, handshake is a sign of confidence. A limp handshake, on the other hand, can give the impression of uncertainty. When you introduce someone else, gesture toward them with a welcoming hand to make them feel respected. These small details show that you're mindful and care about making the right impression. And don't forget your smile. Studies show that people who smile are seen as more approachable, friendly, and trustworthy. A genuine smile can make someone feel instantly at ease. It's the quickest way to build rapport, and it costs you nothing. So, when you introduce yourself or others, a smile is a simple yet powerful tool. Chapter 3. Name drops without the ego. Remembering names can be tough, but it's essential for making meaningful connections. When you introduce yourself, make sure to say your name clearly, and if it's a common name, try to add a unique detail to make it stick. For example, "I'm Mike, and I've been hiking since I was 5. This gives the other person something specific to remember. When introducing others, always start with their name. A study by psychologist Dr. Alan Baddeley showed that people are more likely to remember someone's name if it's spoken early on in a conversation. If you're worried about mispronouncing a name, it's okay to ask politely how to say it correctly. This shows respect and helps avoid uncomfortable situations later. A powerful trick to make introductions memorable is to connect people with shared interests. For instance, when introducing two people, you could say, "This is Sarah, she's a photographer and loves nature photography just like you." This personal connection makes the introduction feel more meaningful and sets the stage for a deeper conversation. You can also use the repeat method when meeting someone new. After they introduce themselves, repeat their name in your response. "Nice to meet you, James." This small trick will help you lock their name into your memory. Studies show that people feel more connected when their name is used during a conversation, and it shows that you care about them as an individual. Being mindful of others when you introduce them can also create a positive experience. Always give a little background about the person you're introducing. Highlighting their strengths or interesting facts can help others feel valued. For example, meet Alicia. She's an expert in digital marketing and just launched her own startup. It's a subtle way of showing respect and admiration for the person you're introducing. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want more tips on how to make lasting impressions and communicate like a pro, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss any of our future content. Chapter 4. The Hook. Crafting the ultimate elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch is your opportunity to shine in 30 seconds or less. Imagine you're in an elevator with someone important, and you have just one chance to introduce yourself. How would you do it? The key is to make it unique and memorable. Instead of saying, "I'm a graphic designer," try something like, "I help brands tell their story visually through compelling designs that turn heads." You're not just stating your job, you're sharing the impact you have. Statistics show that people's attention spans are shorter than ever, so you need to make your introduction stand out. In fact, a study by Microsoft found that the average attention span is now only 8 seconds, less than a goldfish. This means your elevator pitch needs to pack a punch right away. Avoid long-winded explanations, and instead focus on a specific problem you solve or a result you've achieved. Start with a hook, something that makes the listener curious. You could say, "Have you ever struggled to make your business visible online?" This kind of question invites the listener into a conversation rather than a monologue. Another great strategy is the what, why, and how format. For example, "I'm a marketer, what, and I specialize in helping businesses increase sales through social media, why, using targeted ads that boost engagement by 40%, how." The best elevator pitches aren't about selling, they're about sparking interest. Make sure to tailor your pitch to your audience. If you're talking to someone in the tech industry, focus on data and results. If you're speaking to a creative, talk about the artistry behind your work. Tailoring your message shows you're both insightful and adaptable. Lastly, finish your pitch with a call to action. It could be as simple as, "I'd love to connect with you over coffee," or "Let's chat about how I can help your business grow." This leaves the conversation open for follow-up and gives the other person something to remember you by. Chapter 5. The Art of Introduction Flow. Once you've made your introduction, it's time to keep the conversation flowing smoothly. The key here is balance. Don't dominate the conversation, but also don't leave it all to the other person. A great introduction doesn't end after you've said your name, it's just the beginning of a meaningful exchange. One way to keep things flowing is by asking open-ended questions. Instead of asking, "Did you have a good weekend?" ask, "What did you get up to this weekend?" Open-ended questions invite the other person to share more, leading to a deeper conversation. According to How to Win Friends and Influence People, people love to talk about themselves. So, encourage them to do so by asking thoughtful questions that go beyond simple yes or no answers. Another important part of keeping the flow is listening. Active listening shows you care about the other person's story. When someone introduces themselves, make sure you're truly present. Nod, make eye contact, and respond with comments like, "That sounds fascinating," or "Tell me more about that." It's the little things that show you're paying attention. If you're introducing someone else, keep it short and sweet. Avoid giving a long list of titles or achievements, focus on one or two interesting facts that highlight the person's strengths. For example, "This is Lisa, she's a fantastic project manager who loves organizing events." This sets a positive tone without overwhelming the other person. A great trick to keep the flow smooth is to find common ground. If you notice a shared interest or mutual connection, bring it up. For example, you both love hiking. You should swap recommendations on the best trails. This makes the introduction feel more like a connection than a formal exchange of names. And remember, humor can be a powerful tool for easing any awkwardness. A light joke or a funny comment can break the ice and help everyone relax. But always be mindful of the situation and the people involved. Make sure the humor is appropriate and doesn't detract from the professionalism of the introduction. Chapter 6. The Golden Exit. Wrapping up introductions like a pro. Just as important as making a strong first impression is making a graceful exit. How you end an introduction or conversation can leave a lasting impact. You don't want to linger too long and make the other person feel trapped, but you also don't want to dash off too abruptly. A great way to wrap up an introduction is by expressing genuine interest in continuing the conversation. You might say, "It was great meeting you, let's stay in touch. I'd love to learn more about your work." This signals that you're open to future interaction without being pushy. The key is to sound sincere. People can tell when you're just going through the motions. One tactic for leaving a strong impression is offering a business card or contact information. But remember, don't just hand it over casually. Say something like, "I'd love to continue this conversation, here's my card," to make the exchange feel more intentional. This gesture can help keep the connection alive long after the introduction. If you're introducing others and need to exit, do so by encouraging them to engage. You could say, "I'll let you two chat more, enjoy the conversation." This gives the other person a chance to bond without feeling pressured by your presence. You can also offer to step away politely, which shows you're aware of the dynamics. Another strategy is to leave with an actionable next step. If you mention something during the introduction that could lead to a follow-up, remind the person of it before you go. For example, "I'll email you the article 1 mentioned by tomorrow." This gives the conversation direction and ensures you're not just walking away without follow-through. Finally, always thank the person for their time. A simple, "It was a pleasure meeting you," can go a long way. People remember the way they feel when interacting with you, so make sure they leave with a positive impression. A strong exit ensures that your introduction doesn't just end with a handshake, it leaves the door open for future conversations. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want more tips on how to make lasting impressions and communicate like a pro, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss any of our future content.